This is Margaritaville at Sea, the supposed worst rated cruise line in North America, and just so happens to be my first cruise ever. So was it really all that bad? First of all, the ship itself was actually pretty beautiful. Like looking around, you walk into this nice lobby, this giant sandal, elevators. It honestly exceeded my expectations right off the bat as soon as I walked in the doors. Now, I took a 5-day cruise down to Cozumel, Mexico, so it was a little bit of a longer cruise, whereas they do offer cruises that are 2 days down to Key West and back. Margaritaville at Sea has 2 different ships, the Paradise and the Islander. I went on the Islander out of Tampa for my 5-day cruise. Now, the Islander itself was renovated this year in 2024, so everything looked and felt brand new. So let me start with the aesthetics. The aesthetics of the ship was actually rather incredible. They had an entire casino on the main floor of the ship. As you can see here, played some quarter slots, we played some slot machines. Just a lot of fun. I think we came home like net $20, so hey, a win is a win. There was all sorts of different lounges, clubs, bars, let me tell you, bars all around the ship. It was honestly like, it felt like a resort, almost like a hotel. So from the aesthetics alone, I don't really understand why the reviews on this ship are so bad. As you can see here on the top floor, they got multiple pools. They got mini golf up top, a water slide. If you go to the front of the ship, there's actually an area that is adult only area. So no kids allowed. It's 18 plus. So there's no kids in the pool. There's a bar. You can look at the front of the ship. Honestly, great idea by Margaritaville at Sea. I decided to play a little bit of mini golf, and as you can tell, yeah, play mini golf ain't easy on the ship. Also, I was recording, so ignore the shot, ignore the shot. They also had an arcade in which you just swipe your card room to play the games. They also had some claw machines in the arcade room as well. They did have a workout room with some treadmills and some weights. I only went once because, again, I'm on vacation. Here was our room. We had a balcony room which overlooked the sea. The only thing I could see why people might complain would be that the balcony was a little high, but like, come on. Like, safety, like they don't want people falling off the ship, you know? And the main bed itself can split into 2, so you can either share this queen size bed or split into 2 twins, which is what we ended up doing. One day I decided to start at the very back of the boat and walk to the very front and time it to see how long it took me to walk from the front of the boat to the back of the boat. And honestly, it was pretty quick. I got there in a little over 3 minutes. I timed myself just walking, you know, started at the back, walked all the way through the food areas, and honestly, was not that bad. Speaking of the food areas, how is the food on a supposed worst ranked cruise line in North America? Now, for every meal, we decided to do the buffet. Not only was it included with the price of the ship, but also there was just more options. You can have multiple plates, and they had a salad bar. I mean, everything about it was fine to me. If the steakhouse, I'm sure it was good, but obviously it costs more. And in the dining room, you get 3 courses, but you only get 1 plate each. For me personally, I'm on a cruise, I'm on vacation, let me eat how much I want to eat. You get a nice look at, here's the breakfast buffet, which is pretty simple every day. Eggs, sausage, pancakes, waffles, you know, your typical breakfast buffet. As for the lunches, they changed it up every single day, which was nice, so you weren't getting the same thing. Although if you wanted to, you could, as they always had a salad bar, they always had a deli area, but then they would have different hot meats, they would have different starches, different vegetables. It was a good selection, and a limited amount of fried food, which made it nice because you would think on a buffet they would just constantly have fried foods. That was not the case. They would have fresh fish, they would have fresh pork, they would have chicken, rice, great selection. And for dinner, it was essentially the same thing. They would just change up what was actually at the buffet. And then on both sides of the bars, they also had little dessert areas where you get these little cakes, different vegetables, and they would have like tiramisu or something like that. It was a decent selection. I'm not a big dessert guy, so take it as you will. Now on those off areas where maybe you don't really feel like the buffet, what else did they have? They had a burger bar, which ran to 6 p.m. every day. On the other side of the burger bar, there was a Mexican area, which was really good. I got Mexican bowls multiple times, rice, chicken, salsa, guac, awesome food. It was really nice, like high protein, like I didn't feel like I was eating a lot unhealthy wise type of meal. And then everyone's favorite, behind the buffet on the other side of the ship, was the pizza, which ran till 2 a.m. And when I tell you there were people there every single hour of every single day that it was open, people loved the pizza there. As you can see right here, I got a couple slices myself. And then they had ice cream run till 9:30 at night each night. I only got it a couple times. I'm not a huge ice cream person, but you know, when in Rome, they got ice cream, try it out. Now on to activities. Was there enough to do on the ship? Unless you're somebody who loves to just complain just to complain, you cannot have any issues with the lack of activities on this ship. If you're a gambler, you could go to the casino all day, as long as you were out in sea per Florida laws. They had different lounges and bars you could hang out. They had some shopping that you could do. Yes, there was a couple of different shops that you could look at. I think one of them was a jewelry shop if you wanted to like buy a ring to propose to someone. Go you. But there was all sorts of trivia going on. There was bingo that went on multiple days, which your boy, I literally came within, I came within one slot of winning bingo multiple times and lost. And when I tell you I'm still salty about it, I am. They had different decade named that tune, so 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and obviously you would win small prizes if you came in first with those. Then, like I mentioned earlier, mini golf, pools, different music going on around the ship. I mean, there was endless things to do on this ship. Even for a 5-day cruise, we didn't do everything. And then you had the shows, which beat my expectations. Now I want to preface this by saying I am not a musical, sit down, go to a show, theater type of person. That's not my vibe. However, the shows on Margaritaville at Sea Islander blew me away. They had a Western show. They had a show where they took you to all different kinds of areas of the Caribbean with music and strobe lights and people flying in the air. It blew me away. And then they had these illusionists over from Spain on the ship. I was speechless. I couldn't believe what they were doing. I actually could not figure out anything. And then we talked to them after, and they happened to be the nicest people ever. But yeah, as coming from a guy who doesn't like theater or music or shows, I was pleasantly surprised. And then one thing that they always say around the ship constantly, whenever they mention anybody on the staff doing anything, is that they have the friendliest staff at sea. I genuinely think that this could be true. Every single person that I talk to smiles, thank you, yes sir, no sir, very polite. Everybody acted like they wanted to be there, even if they didn't, because at the end of the day, it is a job and you don't always want to be at your job all the time. The guy who took care of our room, I'm not going to name drop him just for privacy reasons, was amazing. We left him a tip. He did such a good job. And then there was people that ran bingo, the host of the ship. I mean, everybody was polite. They were kind, and I kind of missed their personalities. I'm not going to lie. So all in all, was Margaritaville at Sea Islander worth the trip, despite it supposedly being the worst ranked cruise line in North America? I would say 100%. The only reason that I could see people complaining was the Wi-Fi. So I decided to get the Wi-Fi package so I could still do some work at night when, things died down and I wanted to get some work done. I will say the Wi-Fi was unbearably slow. I got my work done, but it was unbearably slow. So can you do work on the ship? Yes. Will it frustrate you if you do stuff a little bit deeper in terms of emails and trying to load pages? It will get frustrating. I will say that. So just a little word of caution if you're planning on getting the Wi-Fi for your laptop or phone. It could run slower than you would think. All in all, I had a great time at Margaritaville at Sea Islander, and it was my first cruise line, so I have nothing to compare it to. If I take other cruise lines, will it maybe look not as great? I don't know. All I do know is I went, I had a lot of fun, I was never bored, I had great food, I met great people, and I would definitely do it again, and I'm actually looking to do it again. So if you ask me, should you go Margaritaville at Sea Islander out of Tampa? Do it. The price is worth it, and you get a lot out of it. And I hope that this review helped you. And if you did, drop a like. And if you've been on, drop a comment and let me know what your experience was like with Margaritaville at Sea Islander as well.